What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boschee here, and today we are going to be looking at something a little different, and that is Raid Shadow Legends. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this game, but if you haven't, it is a turn-based RPG that honestly I started playing about a couple of months ago, and I've fallen in love with it, and that's all I've really been doing game-wise is just playing this game. So really fun game if you're looking into that type of game, and we're kind of skeptical about it because I was at first as well, and honestly I just love it. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about a feature that was added into the game back in June of this year, and that was Tag Team Arena. Now, initially in this game there's only one version of PvP, and that was Classic Arena, where you earned medals in order to advance your Great Hall, which allowed you to get passive stats for each of the champion affinity types. Well, now they've added a new mode called Tag Team Arena, and this will allow you to earn a currency called gold bars, which allows you to buy some pretty cool stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into what the Tag Team Arena mode looks like, so I can go through what's on the screen and kind of explain everything. So go ahead and go to the battle tab. You go into Arena, so you still have the Classic Arena over here, but now there is Tag Team Arena. Now, if you are a newer player and a little bit on the lower level side, the Tag Team Arena mode will not be unlocked until level 35, but once you have it unlocked, you'll definitely want to take advantage of some of the things that are going on within it. So going in here, so this looks very similar to the Classic Arena tab itself, but we're going to go through everything just in case there's some new players here or people looking into getting into the game. So at the very top you can see the gold bars. This is the currency I was talking about that you earn by winning matches within Tag Team Arena. We'll get a little bit more into that in just a second. Next to it is the Tag Team Arena tokens. Now these tokens are given to you at the daily reset, so you'll get 10 at the daily reset, and then you can actually earn another 10 from the advanced dailies. So overall you can pretty much play 20 matches for free without spending anything else. Now if you are really trying to climb through the different tiers and stuff like that, then you can go ahead and hit the plus sign and you can buy refills. Now they do cost 15 gems initially, and they will slightly go up in cost all the way up to 8 times, and then the price will reset at a certain amount of time during the day. Now in my opinion, I believe 20 battles is very much enough in order for you to climb through the tiers, but if you are really having fun with tag team and you have the gems to spare, then you can do a refill that way. Go right below that is the ranking period. So typically this will be a lot higher, but it is near the end of the week, so ranking period will last a total of 7 days, and the reset is always Sunday night or early Monday morning depending on where you live. And this kind of determines after a week of playing Arena Tag Team where you will land for the following week. So as you can see right here, I am in currently Silver 1, and this is the progression bar. So the progression bar shows you if you are within this point area, then that means you will be deranking at the end of the ranking period. If you're in the middle, that means you will maintain your rank. So currently right now, if I can stay within this time or within this area, I will be staying in Silver 1 at the end of this ranking period. But if I can end up pushing up here within the point system, then I will actually be upgraded to Silver 2. So that is probably what I'm going to be ending up doing later today. But very easy, very visual to see, hey, am I doing pretty well? And this is kind of like a ranking to yourself of, hey, should I be here? Because if you're going through like all these matches of people and you can't really find one that you should be fighting against or whatnot, then that kind of means that you might be a little bit too high and you got lucky on a couple. But it's really hard to tell because there are a lot of stacked teams within Tag Team Arena itself. So I would definitely just say, give it a try, see where you're at. Obviously, I'm in silver 1. I feel like I should be here, but you know, everything can kind of change as you go through people. So, and then on the right side, very similar to Classic Arena, you can hit the refresh list. This will refresh the opponents given to you, to pretty much like who you choose to battle. So if I go through this list and I kind of see that I can't really take any of these teams, I would hit the refresh list and it would give me a whole new set of people that I can choose from to battle. So instead of going straight down, I'm actually going to go to the very bottom and go work my way up. We just talked about the gold bars as the main currency that you kind of get through Tag Team Arena, and those can be actually used in the bazaar. So in the bazaar, everything seems to be locked behind your ranking. So if you're in the bronze tier, silver tier, or gold tier, depending, that is going to be pretty much allowing you to buy certain things. So once you are introduced into Tag Team Arena, you definitely could buy anything within the bronze tier. The main thing that draws people into Tag Team is this right here, the Champion Fragment. So you need 100 fragments in order to fuse this legendary champion, but honestly, it's very easy to earn 360 bars a day. That's like in combination with what you earn a day and then your weekly amount that you get at the end of the ranking period, and we'll get into that in just a second as well. This is pretty much very nice, especially for free-to-play players, because you really don't have to do anything. You play the game. It has its own currency, so you're not spending additional energy or anything like that in order to do this, and so pretty much a free legendary if you are buying your fragments every day. Yes, it does take a long time, but it's free. So as you move up through the tiers, so silver tier will allow you to buy a void shard, but the main draw as well as the champion fragments are these accessories. So you can buy a 4 to 6 star accessory when in the silver tier, and once you make it to gold tier, you can buy a 5 to 6 stars. So you definitely want to aim for that. But what's so unique about these accessories, they're just like the accessories that you'd get from Spider, but these actually have two different sets. So there is a refresh set and there is a cleansing set. So the refresh set has an additional chance to not put a skill on cooldown when used, and then the cleansing items have a chance to remove a random debuff on your champion that's wearing it. So kind of like a unique, nice little added bonus to your accessories. So I definitely, that's what I was pushing the silver for. So now, you know, I can buy these on cooldown, which I believe is a 24-hour cooldown. And do keep in mind, everything in here does have somewhat of a cooldown. So like I bought an ancient shard a while back, and I believe it's a week cooldown. Champion fragment is a 24-hour cooldown. The accessories are 24 hours. I haven't bought any of these, but I'd imagine they all have a different type of cooldown, so just keep that in mind when you want to buy stuff. And then the last thing that they added recently was this avatar. So the avatar, I honestly think is really cool. It is a lot of gold bars, but it's a unique cosmetic that actually is only in the store or the bazaar for 2 more weeks. After that, they are actually going to be removing it from the bazaar and adding a different icon or avatar. So the reason I like this is that it's a very unique thing. It's not anything that's going to help you in the game. It's just kind of a say, hey, I earned this type situation. So I think that's really cool. And definitely, I don't know how many people are actually going after it. If I was, you know, able to push in the gold rank, I would definitely be saving up my bars for this. So yeah, so that's the main like reason to kind of earn the gold bars in Tag Team. We'll go ahead and jump into the tiers tab. So the tiers tab kind of shows you how many gold bars you'll be earning per battle that you win within that tier. So currently I'm in tier 1. So every battle I win, I get 22 gold bars, meaning every match that I win, because it has to be a best 2 out of 3, I'm earning 44 bars at minimum. So definitely nice. And then at the end of the ranking period, if I'm within a certain tier, this is how many gold bars I'll be earning at the end of the ranking period. So if I end in silver 1 at the end of this ranking period in a couple hours, I get a free 1900 bars. So definitely not bad, definitely enough to sustain buying, let's say, the champion fragment for the week pretty much. So yeah, definitely not bad at all. And then as you go further up, obviously you earn more gold bars per win and more weekly bars at the end of the ranking period. Then you have the defense tab. So defense tab is once again similar to Classic Arena, but these are the teams that you can set up for people to play against when they see your name in the battle list. You can set these up to be this very similar to what your attack team is like when you are manually playing through battle, or you can set up different types of teams. So my teams aren't exactly what my offensive teams are. And honestly, I'm still working on my defense teams. They're not too great. I have one that's based upon like controlling the opponent team with freezes. This is supposed to be a defensive team, but I feel like it's going to be too slow, so I'm going to end up changing that out a little bit. And then I have a team that's based off of speed and blowing people up with Seer and her Karma burn ability. So not the best type of situation. I definitely have to do some maintenance on this, but the important thing about defense is that you do kind of want a team that is going to win for sure at least one match, just because this prevents you from losing a lot of points at once. And so yeah, that's pretty much the main reason. Obviously you would like to win your defense matches and not go down in points and kind of earn points passively to keep you up in the ranking, but it's not always easy, as your opponents get to choose who they want to go against, and so that can really just be hard unless you have a lot of stacked champions and just make it really hard on the opponent. Then you have the battle log. This pretty much just tells you how your defensive team is performing within the defense area of this tab. So you can see my defense is being defeated a lot, but it is winning a couple of matches throughout the time, so not doing horrible. But you can see majority of the time I can win at least like 1 out of the 3, which means I'm only losing 10 points because these two cancel out. But I do have those times where I'm losing 10, 10, and 10, so I'm losing a total of 30 points every time I lose that. So that's where if you're seeing this a lot is when you want to kind of look at your defensive teams and see what you can do in order to kind of rank them up and make your defense better. Now on the attack portion, this is just a history of pretty much the battles that you've chosen within the battle tab, and if you want to go back and kind of see, hey, this comp does well against this one and that type of thing, then yeah, you can go back and do that. And then we make it back to the battle tab. So next we're gonna actually go ahead and jump into a battle, so I can kind of show you what my teams are doing and how I typically do it, because I don't really play on auto a lot. I know a lot of people like to just auto battle. I actually like the aspect of PvP and kind of manually doing it and showing what my team can do. I pretty much have 2 teams that are working very well. I have another team that's still working. I'm working on my Arbiter at the moment, so that will be introduced into that 3rd team. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the battle, and I'll show you guys my team, and then I'll talk about a couple of tips and tricks that might help you guys later in tag team. Alright, so here is a team that I kind of chose in order to do a battle. Now, as you can see, we right here can actually move around anyone, move them into different teams and whatnot. So as it stands right now, I think the current teams are set up correctly for what I'm trying to do. Now, as a notice of what I'm trying to do right here, so these 2 teams at the bottom, my middle team and my last team, are actually the ones that I know perform pretty well. So this one's very based on bursting people down, because I'm going to have a drop defense, and then I'm going to use a very big nuker type champion like Trunda in order to blow up the team. This team at the very bottom is very control-y. So I have Jingle Hunter and Gurgo to use freezes, and then I have a Seeker in order to do turn meter manipulation to speed up my champions. And Zargala is just pretty much a defense down type of nuker. Now at the very top, this is the team that's kind of under construction, you could say. The main purpose of this team is supposed to be fast enough in order to get my Angar to provoke everyone on the opponent's team, locking them out of their actual abilities, and then just bursting people down with my Elder Skarg. Now, looking at this matchup, they have 2 turn meter manipulation type champions, which means most likely they're going to go faster than I am. They have a drop defense, and then the Kale is probably going to be able to burst all my champions down, as I think really the only semi-tanky person here is Angar, so I'm not really, expecting to win this very first match. But these next 2 matches, I feel like I'm in a well-positioned state that I can. So let's go ahead and jump into the battle. Like I said, I manual through all my gameplay, except this one's probably just going to end very quickly, but we'll see how everything goes. Yeah, see, so that big burst just happened. I didn't even honestly get to turn off auto if I wanted to. So this is where my team comes in handy. So I'm going to use Gorgrab's buff ability to give increased attack and turn meter. Then I'm going to use my Madame Saris to strip the buffs off of my opponent and put defense, or drop defense, drop attack. I will use my Basher to use to pretty much make everyone's abilities go on cooldown. This way, when they do attack back, they'll really only have their A1 ability, which is their basic default attack. And then I will use my big nuke in order to blow everyone up. So this blew up everyone except these 2, but pretty much took out 2 key people. This person's pretty much dead, so I'm just going to hit them, kill them, and then we'll just auto through the rest of this because my job's done here. And then this is another match that I think I win just based off of speed. So right here I'm going to use Seeker. It's going to increase everyone's turn meter and get extra attack. Now this attack can land a provoke, and so I pretty much want to hit whoever I want to make sure I don't want them to use their abilities. So I'll go after Apothecary just because he has a speed up. I land the provoke, which means he won't be able to use his other abilities except his basic attack. Jingle Hunter I'm going to use and drop everyone's turn meter. And then I'll use Gurgo in order to freeze everyone. So right now I want to look at who is a threat on the team. Right now the threat would be possibly Apothecary for the heals, or Talia just because she has big burst damage. Now I'm going to go after Talia because she is squishy typically. I get the kill there, and then I'm going to do a drop defense with Zargala, which does a burst. I'll attack Apothecary again, landing that provoke. And then we're just kind of going to go through everything again. And at this point I can probably auto through everything. I like to pretty much manually play my games at the very start to make sure that my team does everything pretty well, and then I will auto if I feel comfortable enough. So right here you saw that I won best 2 out of 3, so I earned my 44 gold bars, and then I earned my 10 points. Now I always thought this should be higher, but it makes sense as you're winning 10 points, you're losing 10 points, and you're winning, so the other 2 kind of cancel out. But yeah, so that's how my arena teams pretty much work. But yeah, you can see that power isn't always everything. I actually have a better example of that I'll show in just a second. But yeah, some tips on how Tag Team Arena will work. You pretty much want to make sure that you're just looking through and picking out matches that you think are going to be in your favor. Now that could mean they don't have fully leveled champions. That means maybe you have speed champions and they don't. For example, these have 2 speed, this one doesn't, so obviously I do a speed against a speed type situation. But all in all, you don't always have to choose from this list. Patience is actually a very big part of being able to rank up because of this refresh button. So for example, I don't know if I can take any more of these matches, so we'll just hit the refresh button and look again. And if you can go through this list and you can't find anyone, wait your 15 minutes and go grab a snack, or play a different aspect of the game, and then come back and refresh again. You're bound to find the games that you are able to win, and that can be a huge difference in just playing a game and possibly losing a lot of points just because you don't want to wait. Patience is definitely a big thing in ranking up. The next big thing I would say is experiment. When you first get into Tag Team Arena, it can definitely be very hard because it requires you to use a total of 12 champions. So not a lot of people have enough champions in order to even play in Tag Team Arena very well, just because it just requires a lot of champions. And I mean, at this point in the game, because it was just introduced, I don't think a lot of people are focusing on Tag Team Arena. So you have a lot of people that do have a lot of champions, and a lot of strong champions at that, and they don't really care too much about ranking up. And so they're just sitting there with a lot of strong defensive champions, and it's hard to find teams that sometimes you can play against. So at that point, I would say just experiment with building different types of teams. Find synergy between your teams. Like, for example, like my favorite team right now is this bottom team, because I have a turn meter drop person right here as Jingle Hunter. I have a turn meter up person for my team, which makes me go faster. I can control the opponent team with Gurgo by freezing them. Same thing with Jingle Hunter. If I'm able to kill them, I have a possibility of freezing the other opponents. So like my team synergizes very well with each other, and so that's like the main thing you want to find. Like some of these teams are built purely just for speed. So like this team, for example, on my opponent, built for speed to make them go faster, drop a defense, and then you have a nuker within Trunda to just blow up everyone. And if for whatever reason one of these people drop, they have still the Drakes to resurrect someone during the battle. And that's the type of thing you want to look for. Don't just like say, hey, I have 5 or 4 strong champions, let me just throw them into a team, because they just might not work together. That's the big thing you want to look for. The other thing is work on your defense. Now I know a lot of people will say, put up whatever defense that you have, it doesn't really matter. It matters in the sense if you want to climb in ranking, because if you can set up a decent defense, either people won't attack you, which means you don't have a chance to lose points, or if people do attack you, you have a better chance of winning and passively gaining points. On defense, you can still lose points. So like right here, you can still lose points. Like for example, like this person, same person attacked me twice, but they realized, oh, these teams that actually do well flipped against my team comps. So they actually flipped them and ended up winning. So, I mean, that's the big thing. You just have to kind of realize, hey, I want to climb, I don't want to climb, and that type of situation. So all in all, I think Tag Team Arena still relatively new. Definitely experiment, definitely have patience with what you're doing. I would definitely make sure that you do it every day though, just because you do have really cool things that you can invest your gold bars in, especially even at the lower tier. Like an ancient shard every week really isn't that bad. Buying a champion fragment will eventually get you this champion over time, especially if you don't pull it. And there's a lot of legendary champions, and actually this legendary champion is really good. So I've seen him in arena a couple of times. So definitely make Tag Team Arena a priority to do daily. I definitely think you will see the benefits while you're doing it. But yeah, so that is the video. I hope you guys all liked it, hope it all helped. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.